Well, hey everybody, welcome to Hear Us Out. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Paul. How's it going?
Not too bad. This is the first live in we've taken we had a little hiatus there of some recorded videos. One of us was getting more of a tan than the other. If you can't tell which, then you're watching in black and white. I've also not run a stream for a little while, so fully expect there to be problems. I hope to see you all in the chat, not pointing them out in anything but a very polite and gentle way. Do know that if you completely can't hear us right now, that's down to me. So if anybody wants to let me know in the chat that we can or cannot, good.
We're fine.
Okay, so we've already got our first welcome back. Thank you very much, Brew. Good to have you here. Do you know, Paul, there's no two ways about it. This is one of those monthly roundup shows where just about anything could happen. We're going to go crazy. Much like a bear in the woods, a cocaine bear in the woods. Because that has to be one of the big stories. We've all been waiting for a Cocaine Bear to come out.
Yeah.
Cocaine Bear has come out. And it is getting the reviews I would have expected. Everybody was like, I'm willing to give this movie a break. I have yet to see it, so I don't know if we can talk too much about it. I'm looking forward to seeing it, though. It's a weird one.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to see it either, but yeah, it feels like back when, it's just a crazy film, and I think reviewers are kind of just going, look, we're not going to review it harshly. It's about a bear who ate a bunch of cocaine and went mental. Yep. Go watch it.
And for me, it's going to be one of the solemn moments, as much as you can have in a film called Cocaine Bear, that I do believe I'm correct in this, that it's Ray Liotta's last on-screen performance. And as a big Ray fan, kind of looking forward to seeing it for that too. A little on-screen goodbye. And a big fuck off Cocaine Bear. Excuse my language. Actually, language warning. I feel like cursing tonight, Paul. You okay with that?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Cool. Then let's talk about the other bear that you mentioned, because there's another crazy bear in the woods. And yeah. I want to preface this by saying I've never been a Winnie the Pooh fan of the traditional originals. Wasn't a big part of my childhood. In fact, I used to call him Shit the Bear, because I thought Pooh was a really stupid name. It's like Winnie the Pooh, and I'm like, you mean Shit the Bear? Because I was a very vulgar child. But Paul, somebody made a low-budget film because Winnie the Pooh, as a set of stories, became public domain, right?
Yeah. So this is a long-standing tradition of certain groups of people finding movies that are from childhood that are slightly sinister in its own way. And then turning them into horror movies. It happened in 1997 when they did Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a horror movie, because that's when Snow White came into public domain. Peter Pan is also coming into public domain, so there's already a Peter Pan horror movie also in the works.
Is there a subtitle or a tagline for its title?
Not yes, no. There is is also. Oh, we could definitely make one up.
Okay.
That'll be the challenge for it. I'll keep going while you keep...
End of the show, we'll give our Peter Pan taglines.
Bambi is also being turned into a horror movie as well. That's also come into public domain as well recently. So, so there's... Yeah, those two are the main ones. Peter Pan and...
Oh, man.
Peter Pan and Bambi are two movies also going to be made into horror movies now.
Well, we're already getting it in the chat since I've now decided to just complete. We haven't been getting enough viewers, and I'm worried about alienating too many people with our language lately. So yes, Hear Us Out is going wild. It's the non-P. This is a red band episode, so we can definitely talk about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Cocaine Bears fucking things up everywhere. Jesus, so Bambi as a horror movie.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a revenge story.
It should be.
I think Bambi is going to go kill the hunters who killed his mother.
Right. Fair play.
Yeah.
If John Wick did it for a dog, then Bambi should definitely be up for their mum. Paul, anything else about Winnie? Sorry, go for it.
My only question is, what's Peter Pan going to be? Is it going to be about Peter Pan who steals children? Or is it going to be like Hook coming after children? There's so much for Peter Pan. Like Winnie the Pooh, the premise is Christopher Robin It's like the Christopher Robin movie that came out like a couple of years ago, which is Christopher Robin doesn't go back and they go mental and start killing people. Not sorry, I should point out, not the movie that happened a couple of years ago, the 2023 one that's came out recently. But what's Peter Pan going to be? Because there's so much horror in that film, or like in that storyline already.
It's very, very likely that the elevator pitch will be something like, imagine the Lost Boys gone wrong, or whatever they were called, or imagine this from Hook's point of view, or something. It'll be some gentle twist that will then allow for some really, really weird stuff. That you know what? I want to find out everything that's coming to public domain and start writing our own stuff for it, Paul.
Right around. I want it to be that Peter Pan kidnaps a bunch of kids, and then they're brought to Neverland, and Neverland is just a nightmare escape world where the three kids have to try and escape from the Lost Boys, who are like, you know, drug addicts, kind of weird children who live forever, and a bunch of horrible pirates. That it's just like the entire thing's just a nightmare for the three kids.
Just go complete Requiem for a Dream on it. Just get as dark as you can wherever you can. That should do it. But here's a question. So now that Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, they've made their low budget horror version. That means no one else can do a horror version that is similar in vein. Yeah. Even though it's public domain, they now are the ones that have kind of cornered that. So other people can do Winnie the Pooh stories. They just can't be dark and horrific, I think. I'm not sure what the law around this is. But it does mean that there could be people doing other genre stuff. You know, romantic comedy with Winnie the Pooh. Peter and Wendy. I'm not a massive Peter Pan guy, so I could get all the names wrong, by the way. But yeah. What about Bambi Goes to Hollywood?
Yeah.
There you go.
You could do like a Vietnam War thing for Bambi, you know?
Yeah.
That'll be weird. All the animals are all like, you know, just coked up young kids who have no idea that they're in a war.
Well,
you decided to go red band, so I decided to go red band.
This is getting suitably dark, so I think it's about time. Paul, how about we switch gears and talk about one of the other big things that happened in February, and that was Marvel continued to shit the bed. Because Quantum Mania was not the worst film ever. Paul hasn't seen it yet, so I'm not going to spoil it for anybody out there. Don't worry. Not going to get into any specifics. Antman and the Wasp, Quantum Mania, this Avengers level film, yada yada yada. I'm not going to give a review other than to say disappointing. It very much reinforces something that we've been saying, Paul, that they needed to slow down a while back when we suggested that they did. But they've got to get back to a bit more cohesive quality. It's just not good enough anymore.
Yeah, see, this is the disappointing thing from us, because I haven't seen it, and I've read a couple of things. The disappointing thing is Ant-Man has always been the trash kind of movie of the Marvel universe, as in like not in a kind of mean way of it being the worst movies, but it's always that they seem to get the most trashing, and they always are the ones that are setting up like some kind of like the Ant-Man. The first one wasn't setting up really much,
no,
but the second one and third one were meant to start off a whole bunch of other stuff. True. So like they're always kicked to the curb in this way, which I feel is unfair to Paul Rudd and the cast, kind of thing. So I'm disappointed in Marvel that once again they decided to choose, I guess, Ant-Man to possibly be the I don't know, the
whipping
downward
post
tone.
The whipping post.
Yeah. Kind of thing. But I'm looking forward to seeing there's plenty of characters and stuff that I want to see, but I also think that they're probably bringing in a lot of weird Marvel technical stuff that I don't know if they're going to explain correctly and stuff. So
do you know, and again I'm going to completely avoid giving any sort of review because then I'd have to talk about specific things. I have no issue. I actually don't really have a massive issue with the movie itself, or the performances in a lot of ways. It's actually Marvel at this stage because it's that run. And okay, Wakanda Forever, it didn't land with me as much. I know you preferred it, but still, if you go back through, let's say, the last 5 movies, maybe even 6, we're not talking cream of the crop here. Like, I think Shang-Chi was maybe the last one that, and I didn't completely gel with it at first either, but it grew on me. This just doesn't have the feeling that that I needed to have my confidence restored, let's say. Guardians of the Galaxy could easily do that. Christmas special worked for me, or holiday special. But I was kind of hoping that Antman and the Wasp: Quantumania would be there. Okay, we've had enough time to think about this. We're kicking off our next phase after our previous kind of disappointment. Go. Whereas I came out of it going, oh no. Yeah,
okay.
That's
a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I won't be able to comment until maybe we'll do a breakdown once I see it.
Yeah.
But that's not. Yeah, the last couple of movies have been, as much as I guess I've had a softer kind of look on them, kind of thing. They haven't been like anywhere near as good as the last, like as the first kind of batches, kind of thing. Like Marvel has definitely gone downhill in kind of quality, which only makes the opportunity for DC to take the reins as the primary superhero movie.
And do you think they'll successfully do that? Because I don't have faith in them at the moment either. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's funny because we both want this to be good. Nothing about this is reveling in negativity. It's just I'm so tired of defending. It was easy. People were like, "Oh, I'm not into comic book movies." It's like, well, have you watched Infinity War or Endgame yet? And like giving them a chance as actually, works of cinematic art. Well, no, I haven't, because I'm a big goon. It's like, okay, then that's your choice. Whereas now I'm like, yeah, well, I'll come back to you, and I'll start defending them. But their old stuff was really good. Go back and watch that.
Yeah,
it's yeah.
It feels like you're kind of you're now defending a losing battle kind of thing. Yeah, it's disappointing.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Hopefully after, as I said, after Quantumania, mostly after the Antman stuff, there's usually some good stuff comes out. So hopefully they'll stick to that.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3, everybody.
Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home was really, really good as well. But like it's always the first one is always like, Spider-Man's have always been really, really good. Ant-Man's have always been middle of the road kind of stuff. So and then everything in between has just been weirdly kind of disappointing.
That's true. There's some great bits in it, but overall, it hasn't reignited my confidence. Now, we did mention Guardians of the Galaxy a moment ago, so I'm going to use that as one of our patented Here's How segues into another topic. At which point, Paul, I will say, holy trailers, Batman. The Super Bowl happened, and this whole month has just been, and it was all the trailers around then, but since then, trailer after trailer after trailer, every 2 days, I'm finding or hearing about something new. And I'm loving it, because so many of them look good. And I'm going to start off with, we got Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We got a decent-sized trailer for it that actually made me think, oh no, what am I going to do? Because if they kill Rocket, tears will happen. And at the very least, they're going to talk about poor little Rocket and how he came to be. And I don't think it's going to be a comfortable thing. So yeah, I'm already planning on crying, because like, look at the little dude. Come on, no.
Yeah, the new trailer, they're going to go down the Rocket Origins kind of thing, which is a very sad story. We already know that Drax isn't going to be returning after this one, but that's not meaning that he might be dead or anything. It's more just true. Contracts of Dave Bautista is up, and he wants to go and start doing other stuff, which is completely understanding.
Yeah.
He's been quite. I've enjoyed him in like Glass Onion and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he did the last Shyamalan movie as well, Knock at the Cabin. I'm excited for this. Trailers look good. I think it should be great. I really connect with the little Rocket story anyway, so I'm joking around about how much I will cry, and I'm not joking. I know I'll actually cry openly in public in the cinema, and I won't be holding back. I'll be one of the messy ones. Like there'll be the sobs that I'm apologizing to people for. But yeah, Guardians is one of the few movies, that first one, that slapped me around the face and told me to remember to not to prejudge things, because I was like, this is going to be the one that sets us back, folks. You know, Iron Man did so much good work for us here. We're on a good roll. Now you got people, you're going to try and get them to buy into a talking tree and a talking rat. Like, whoa. But, wow, 10 out of 10. And then, you know, second one, it's aging better than I thought. Yeah, like it's... I thought
it's
it would...
meh.
It is meh, but I thought I'd actually like it less over time, whereas I'm kind of liking it about the same. So yeah, we've got Guardians. Paul, another trailer that I don't know if you spotted, Transformers Rise of the Beast. I only bring this up simply because, well, I don't know why I'm bringing it up other than to say, what the hell, man? They're just making more Transformers. This time, they're going back to the original Peterbilt truck style Optimus Prime. So we're getting flat-fronted truck Optimus Prime of my youth. I'm still probably not going to watch this movie because Transformers has burned all its bridges and then peed into the river that they were burned on. And there's a Transformer Gorilla. Transformer Kong?
Yeah.
Kongformer?
So here's the interesting thing. This is based on Beast Wars, which is a Transformers kind of side thing. Optimus Prime gets turned into a gorilla. So I don't know if they do it in this film.
Wow.
I don't know if they're going to do it, but in the Beast Wars kind of version, he is Optimus Prime gets turned into a gorilla, kind of thing. I think he then meets other Optimus Prime as well, because I think his name is like Primal or something like that.
Optimus Primal. You know what? I loved the Transformers when I was a kid. Again, talk about me crying when I was there. I was watching the VHS in my friend Gary's house when Optimus passed. And
15 minutes into the movie.
Crushed me as a child. Crushed me. So, but I obviously left Transformers before it went into all of its spin-offy stuff, including the Beast Wars. I just saw the trailer and I thought, you know what? That looks like another really fun Transformers movie. But I cannot give them another chance until you literally come to me and say, no, seriously, give this one a go.
I have watched all of them so far.
And I have too, but I've got to stop sometime. That is
true.
It's bad for me. So, Paul, can I pick another trailer at random? Because I want to call this one out from a good friend, Brew, out there who welcomed us back. This one's for you, dude. You've been watching a lot of horror lately. Bet you didn't know that Russell Crowe is doing a movie called The Pope's Exorcist. And the trailer looks gnarly.
Yeah, I will say this is one of my favorite trailers that have come out this year, especially within the horror genre. It looks very good. It looks... Well, I think my favorite part is, if you haven't seen the trailer, there's homages to The Exorcist, the original one, which is really, really nice. There's like moments that it looks like they look like the opening kind of parts of The Exorcist and stuff, which is really cool.
I love the idea, like, that he's it's the Pope's Exorcist. This is top dog, dude, and I'm not giving anything away. Everybody go watch the trailer afterwards. The kind of, the bring me the priest. It's like, yeah, this is going to be a fun film. I would say it's not going to hold back. There's been so many, I'm not going to call them bad, but mediocre films in the exorcism genre in the last 10 years. They have kind of been pumping them out, that we're sort of due a good one, and I think this is probably it for my money. This is our best chance. You got Russell Crowe, who, love him or hate him, he knows what he's doing when he's on screen. Also, it's one of those titles that's up there with, I didn't know anything about Cocaine Bear when I heard the title Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
I didn't have to know anything about this film when I heard they're making something called The Pope's Exorcist. All right, cool. I think I'll be watching that, regardless of its reviews.
I did think, when I did read the title, I was going to be like, are they really going to make the Pope essentially like possessed? Because that would be great, Sadly, it's not, but it's still like. But then I watched the trailer and I was just like, this is still really good.
Oh yeah.
So
you've seen John Wick, you've seen The Exorcist. Now see what it looks like when we smash them together. If John Wick was the Pope's exorcist. I say I rock and roll. Do it, folks. Have fun.
Just hoping they don't pull punches. That's the only thing.
Yeah. And to lighten it up for the kids out there, since this is the Red Band episode that we're doing, Strays. Strays is one that I'm everybody knows, huge animal lover. Will Ferrell lover too, I guess. Not one of his lovers, one of his many. I hear he's quite prolific, but I do love his work. Although, Will, call me. It's never too late to start again. We've got essentially nothing but a Red Band for this, because it's going to be what you expect. And I'm digging the idea of Will Ferrell, Jamie Foxx, and a bunch of others using what do you call it, like lassie face, where it's like, dog moving mouth, peanut butter, Mr. Ed peanut butter face.
Yeah. What is it like? The Way Home. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Oh gosh, Homeward Bound.
Homeward Bound. It's Homeward Bound, but if Deadpool got involved,
yes,
with the writing.
And I'm loving the look of this. This is going to be one of those things that it'll be very hard for it not to be up my street. Animals, humor, Will Ferrell. Got me. That was a pretty cool sound effect, Paul. Nice timing.
Yeah, that was me throwing my voice. But just on the comments there, I just saw that someone went, the next great film is going to be Creed 3, and then they talk about Antman, first half and second half kind of thing. Nice to have you, which is, I do like the look of Creed 3. It does look amazing.
Yes.
I'm really happy about it. I don't know if you have the trailer for Fast X. Is that coming up?
I don't have it here because, again, after the last one, it's burnt me out. My fingers have been burned by the Fast franchise.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. I'll be honest. Also, this Momoa. There's a Momoa involved. It just feels like they're just trying to find people who are big enough to stand next to Vin Diesel. Yeah. And don't look small.
Yeah.
Like, I really like Charlize Theron's like character, because it was the first time that it was just like, and then she had a big ass, like, bodyguard who was Giant Slayer.
Oh yeah.
From Game of Thrones. But I was just like, that was the last interesting bad guy, because then you just keep getting bigger and bigger guys who just stand beside Vin Diesel, and it's just like boring.
I love it. I just like, I will watch the Fast X, and I'll watch Fast 11 or whatever they end up calling it, 11 Fast 2 Furious 11s. It'll be something to do with leaving like burnout, because people can sometimes refer to that as 11s because it leaves two big streaks. So I'm sure that will be all over the Fast and Furious 11 marketing. I just don't care to really talk about it until I see it, because if it's as bad as the last one, then I'm just going through the motions. I'm finishing my dinner because the food is there, not because it's yummy.
Yeah.
Whereas, Paul, tell me you saw this coming, because I didn't. Tetris the movie.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? Jeez. What the hell?
Yeah.
How did nobody tell us about this? Did you get the message? Because I nobody asked my permission. Nobody sent anything to my inbox. This just showed up, and I watched the trailer going, Tetris, what the... Holy nuts balls.
Yeah. And that's the actual story as well. Well, they're kind of
dramatic effect,
moving, kind of thing. But it's very true to the actual story of kind of how difficult it was to get the rights to Tetris to sell it on the thing. It seems I heard about there possibly being a Tetris film back when they were doing Battleship. But I think Battleship destroyed that idea, which I'm really glad, because if it was going to be done like Battleship in a weird way, that would have been pathetic. Yeah. But I like the fact that they're actually taking the story of how they got the rights for Tetris. And
so some really weird and sketchy stuff by the looks of it, and some pretty intense creeping in and out of Russia to make deals. And for anybody who isn't familiar with Tetris, welcome from another planet. I hope you rule us as kind overlords. Everybody knows Tetris one way or the other, pretty much. But a lot of people don't twig that the little music is quite literally, it's a Russian ditty, a little Russian tune. So yeah, a lot of people don't realize nowadays that it is actually from another country. And I
Country
think,
that doesn't exist anymore as well.
well, there you go. But my God, finally, Paul. They say they never make a good movie about games. And Mario's not going to be the one to save us. Tetris is. Good job. So yeah, I'm extremely pumped for that, just because of the surprising moment I had when my YouTube feed was like, new Tetris trailer. I'm like, I think I'm hearing this wrong. Then I watched it, and it peeled my eyelids back going, this is going to be cool.
Yeah, it does look very good. Also, to the reference of me saying that the country doesn't exist anymore, it's the USSR that doesn't exist anymore for viewers.
Yeah.
Just before you think that I've destroyed Russia.
I got that, but yeah, I've just realized, but yeah, some people could really take that arseways altogether.
But yeah, no, it looks a very interesting kind of premise for kind of dramatizing it and stuff. They seem to have made a lot of comedic kind of moments for it, which is nice.
Yeah.
It seems a very interesting kind of film. So.
Well, Paul, we're going to have to do a little switch over. So that means we get to play an ad for the fine people, but there's a reason you should all come back. It's because we're going to talk about why poor people shouldn't get to sit in nice places in cinemas.
Oh,
there you go. We're going to pick on the poors. Go, rich people.
Screw commoners.
So we will be right back after whatever random ad that I have not actually lined up properly plays, and we'll see you in approximately 60 seconds. Pie. There was Homebrew Quest. Hang on, that doesn't make any sense. Let me start again. YouTube is great for watching Hear Us Out, but what if you'd like a bit of D&D in your life? Homebrew Quest are a bunch of brilliantly creative Irish folks playing a homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign inspired by Irish mythology. But even more inspired by the brews they're drinking in each episode. Ireland's supposed to be the land of saints and scholars, but it's also got drinkers and YouTubers, one of which might look a tad familiar. So get yourself over to Homebrew Quest and join the adventure. Links in the description down below, or search term Homebrew Quest. Tell them Hear Us Out sent you. So, we just talked Tetris, and I hope you enjoyed that ad. That ad, Paul, it was for Homebrew. So next week you can fully expect It Takes Two to get their proper dues and shout out. Anybody who hasn't been paying attention, please go and check them out. Doing some of the best work they've ever done lately, so fair play. We were going to talk about poor people, weren't we, Paul?
Yeah.
Good thing we don't have any poor listeners. I know it's only the well-heeled that follow us.
Yeah, of course. We're the cream of the crop, We're the higher, like the highest hierarchy that could ever be in movie entertainment news.
Exactly. Full supporters of elitism. Go rich people.
Go Oscars. I mean, go
Golden
BAFTAs.
There you go. Go SAG Awards. My favorite awards. AMC, for anybody who hasn't heard this story, AMC are talking about doing pricing based on the better or worse seats. So you'll pay a little bit more for better seats, which already exists because there's premier seating in cinemas here. I'm pretty sure it's the same in a lot of places. But then there'll also be slightly discounted seats in other places. So think like down in the front corner where you're going to be looking up and across at the screen. Worst seat in a cinema, bottom front corner. Dead center, I'm assuming my preferred seat, center, will probably be the most expensive. And people kind of freaked out about it, which I understand a little, but then I kind of think, okay, should we calm down and just be reasonable about this for a moment? Are there going to be people like me? I pay more to get the premiere seating in a specific theater for certain films that I want to make sure I get the best audio and sound experience. Are there some films that I would go to and that I wouldn't mind saving a few bucks to sit in a slightly less, premiere seat? maybe I would. Maybe I'd like to save the few bucks. If I'm going and it's going to be in a small screen anyway and I don't care. My issue with this is they're always going to find a way to mess this up and make it unfair somehow to people. If this could be administered well, as a principle, I'm not too sure how much I'm against it. It's a scary principle because as it exists now is probably as far as it should go. But I just think anybody behind it will end up finding a way to make this work against people. They always do.
I think that it doesn't go far enough. I want my center seat to be slightly raised a little so that it blocks the people behind me as well, just a little bit.
Well,
kind of thing, because screw the commoners.
If I could have a seat with a button that makes their chairs actually, fold up while they're sitting in them, just so I could entertain myself while waiting for the movie to start. Maybe the odd ejector seat. Oh my God, I've got it. I will pay $500 a ticket if there's an ejector under every seat and the first person to pull out their phone and talk, we're all allowed to hit a button and have them fly through the roof. AMC, do it, and you will have $1,000 a month from me. I promise.
I want to just add, look, not through the roof. I just want the roof to be just a metal sheet, so when they do hit the roof, they die. Because people who talk and take out their phones and the thing definitely don't deserve to be anywhere near a cinema.
Nope.
No, to bring it back to realism, we should do the ejector seat. No, I think this is possibly one of the ways that they can make they can, like, cinema goers and stuff like that have been declining. And I think this is one way that they can start. They can essentially, hopefully, make some money back, kind of thing. Now, I don't think that they should be massively overcharging for seats that probably me and you sit in. Yeah. But I do think that there's seats that I've sat in a stuffed cinema, a full cinema, excuse me, that I definitely think should be cheaper.
Exactly.
Because, like, I've barely seen, like, if they were just like, okay, a ticket is normally, like, for two people, probably about what, €21, something like that, maybe a little more. Like, if they were just like, yeah, all the good seats are going to be like €21. All the bad seats are going to be like €11 or something like that, kind of thing. And I'd be like, that's fine. You're not price hiking. You're just reducing the prices. Now, they were like €50 for the center seat. I'd be just like, yeah, now you're price gouging.
Well, that's it. Like, you're going to see biggest screen in town. Let's say you're going to the big screen, your favorite biggest screen in whatever your multiplex is. And you're going to see, Avengers or whatever it might be. That's going to be sold out maybe for the first few nights that you go. You mightn't have been able to book in advance enough to get good seats. It would be a nice consolation to know, okay, well, I'm sitting kind of second row all the way over to the right-hand side up against the wall. Oh, that's kind of going to suck. But you know what? I still want to see the movie, so I'll put up with that.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm getting, an extra $7 off here, so my popcorn and drink just got paid for. Yeah, I like that. But like I say, it all sounds good until you put it in the hands of somebody who manages to find a way to make this evil. And instead of prices going down for anything, all other prices will just go up and make it even harder for people who are finding it difficult to find the money to go. You and me, I'm not going to speak for you. I don't do that much with my life. Like, I dedicate an awful lot of my life to my interests. I don't have that many expensive interests. So when I go to the cinema, it's my night out. Some people go to the pub. I go to the cinema. So if they put an extra $1 on my seat, I'm kind of okay with that as long as I'm still getting the experience. It's why I rarely go to some of the smaller screens unless it's a movie I know that I've either seen it maybe once and it's a second viewing, or it's something that I know I'm more like.
The size isn't really the story, kind of. Yeah,
I thought you were going to say size isn't important, and I was going to say thank God for that, Paul. I've been waiting for somebody to say that to me for years.
Also a man saying it, which is probably the worst person to be saying it.
Anything that takes the pressure off, I just need to hear it. So yeah, I'd love to hear from our beautiful viewers out there. Has anybody got
so one of the ones that one of the ones that I immediately saw, which I do agree with, and was thinking about it, is it is essentially following what theaters do, like plays and stuff like that, better viewing and stuff like that. My only point, not even a counterpoint, my only thing is that if they're going to, they are kind of following the theater view. I really want box seats to come back, like like I want cinemas now to have boxes, because that would be great. Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
I would definitely pay more for a box seat.
The only problem is, for me, it would still have to be suspended in the center of the room, because, and I see Bruce saying, not fussed where I sit. I'm that weird person who is trying to get to the audio center of the room. It's not even the screen for me, and it's why I care more about the sound system a theater has than the screen. But yeah, boxes would be great, like on a mezzanine level.
But see, the thing is, my thing with the box seats is, if you went and saw the film once, you could like choose your one thing. But if it's like you went to see it and it's a real fun film, and you know that a bunch of friends are going to go watch it, you could get a box seat and just have fun with your friends.
That would,
because you're far away from everybody, so it means that the people with the phones who are getting shot into the sky are not going to bother you. Kind of thing. People talking, they're too far away from you. You can't talk though, because it's a box seat and you're still in the cinema. So don't be
exactly.
But at least you can be together with your friends in a box seat. That'd be great. True. And also, you should have two Muppets always in the box seat that's always on the right hand side, just sitting there.
And I would like to point out that when Paul says two Muppets, he's obviously referring to Statler and Waldorf from the classic Muppet Show, not for the Irish people who are about to be typing like you two Muppets. Because yes, for anybody not from Ireland, Muppet it's not a very strongly derogatory term, but I think, Paul, we would fit the description of a couple of Muppets for a lot of people.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
So shall we truck along to? Oh, sorry.
So your final thoughts on this is that you're not fussed kind of thing, as long as price gouging doesn't come into it.
Yeah,
so I think that's the same for me, kind of thing.
Yeah,
just as a conclusion to that thought.
Yeah, I think there's a right way to do this. I think it could be done the right way, and if it's done the right way, I'd actually support it. But I think there's probably a whole load of wrong ways, and usually industry finds a way to do those. So that's my only fear.
The first one will always do it wrong.
It's true. Second mouse gets the cheese. Just want to read one last comment because it popped in there as we were changing story. I will aim for the center of the cinema, like I was the only person in the cinema recently. Yeah, oh God, when you're like one of only 2 or 3 people there, or you're on your own, and it's just free seating. I love that, because I will move around during the trailers, and that's how weird I am. I'm like one row for it's the only time I get to test it out. So I'm like, have I picked the right row historically? Now's my chance to go back. I know, weirdo, but you're a weirdo, everybody.
I got Independence Day 2. I was the only person in the cinema, and I got I have to say, watching that on your own in a cinema is really enjoyable. Yeah. It's not a great film, but it's a really enjoyable experience when you're on your own in the cinema.
I can kind of see why, actually.
It's just a fun, stupid movie in a cinema. Like,
also, Paul, you and I have not been to the cinema together in, I don't know, since before the plague, since maybe before Transformers were gorillas. We've got to sort something out, and we should try and go at a weird time where it could just be the two of us.
Oh, that would be amazing.
We could take out our phones, because it would be only us, and then we could hate each other forever.
Do the sacrilege thing, yeah.
Do you want to tell the nice people about one that you threw in for me there, which was Hellboy?
Yeah, so Hellboy is getting another reboot, which is after the Daber Harbor tryout, I guess. Didn't really go well. It was a 50 million film that made 55 million back, which wasn't, as you can tell, is not a great thing, because let me tell you, the 50 million does not in any way account the marketing department's kind of added to that. But yeah, 55 million, Hellboy is getting a reboot again, which I'm really excited for. It's going to be following the Crooked Man storyline, which is a really good kind of staple within the graphics, or in the graphic novel kind of thing, which is, I think, if I'm trying, what is this? Brian Taylor is going to be doing it.
Oh, I thought it was. I may have pulled the wrong image because the story I read was Jack Casey.
I think so. Brian Taylor is going to be directing it.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Didn't know. I'm not up to speed on this one yet. Sorry, folks. Sorry.
So I think they have they announced. I'm looking at my notes here. They may have announced the person who's going to be playing him, Hellboy, but I'm not sure.
Well, it's possibly the person I've dumbly stuck in the middle of the screen. So it could be him or it could be somebody else. But I guarantee you this much: they're going to be wearing red makeup. Paul, I'm digging the idea of another go at Hellboy simply because I was really disappointed by the David Harbour one. It had that feeling of that could have been great. Why wasn't it? A lot of good ingredients, a bit of a stinky taste.
I think my downside to it for me was the fact that they tried to make it too much. It was during the period of when Deadpool kind of came out,
Or ratings.
And or ratings were a really, really big thing. And it was just it could have been a really good R-rated movie as well, but I think with Hellboy from Del Toro, I think that's already set a tone for the Hellboy series, even going forward.
Yeah.
So I think when they went R-rating, and a lot of the jokes dropped, like a lot of jokes just hit the ground completely when they were, there was only a couple of funny kind of epic things and not many, which is not great.
Yeah, getting to make an R-rated movie it's quite the privilege these days, and you have to be very careful as to how you use that. Because if you end up just going, yay, we could do what we want, you're actually it's counterproductive. So yeah, I'm with you. I think maybe that is exactly what happened. I wonder how it would have turned out had they not been allowed to go for the full R. Could it have saved what turned out to be a bit of a mess? Because they had a lot of the right ingredients, but yeah.
So I'm excited about this. Crooked Man is also a really, really good storyline. Which goes, it's not an overly normal kind of story that we've seen before, as in kind of in the first couple, just really powerful beings and stuff like that. He's a really powerful being, but he's very cunning would be the better kind of approach. So he's an interesting kind of trickster character, which is really cool.
I'm loving the sound of it so far. There's a few things that have been announced along the way. I guess there's one other thing that we can't talk about February without mentioning The Flash.
Yeah,
we probably can't talk about it for too long because we're gonna have to talk about The Flash quite a lot this year, I think.
Yeah,
and we had to talk about The Flash for a lot of reasons in the past.
Yeah,
this one though I think is good because a trailer finally showed up, and it didn't disappoint. From my point of view, it didn't disappoint. For anybody out there that is a 1989 Batman person, they got their serving of "I'm Batman" from Michael Keaton. Got the Batmobile, the best Batmobile, as we once discussed and agreed.
Yeah.
I'm digging it. I don't want to get into all of the, outside film drama. The movie itself, I'm digging where this thing could end up. And the buzz is that the people who have allegedly seen it, that it's great. So,
yeah,
could this be the one?
Yeah, the sad thing is that this is it could be the last of the. This could have been the start of the DC universe kind of upswing, but we've got now James Gunn kind of taking over the reins and stuff. So not all the the trailer looked great. It's based on Flashpoint. It looked amazing. I'm really excited for it. Which goes, it just looked like it looked like a combination of a really good, interesting story of version of Flashpoint and just a funny kind of film as well. So I'm very much on interested in this. Sad to see that the last possible, this could be the movie that would come out swinging for DC, and it's the last of the old guard I think that we're getting, because I don't think we're getting an Aquaman 3.
No, not if what they're saying about Aquaman 2 turns out to be true.
Sorry, Aquaman 2. Yeah, we're not. Whatever happens with Aquaman 2, I think that's the last of the old guard. Actually,
no, and I think it's pretty much it's stopping then. Look, I'd like to see them go out in a high. It may well spin them out into some possibilities that James Gunn can pick up and run with. You never know what small plotline, storylines, people, etc. He can nab and run with. It's been such a long wait. They've been talking about this thing since before the TV show started, and I think the TV show's had like 7 seasons and is ending. So
yeah,
it's been around a long time. It's obviously had enough press in all sorts of positive and negative ways. Give me the Flash movie. Let's find out. Is it good? Is it not? And personally, I hope it's good for everybody involved, for everybody's sake. Because all of the people that worked in this movie have been through more than enough at this stage, I think, with wondering whether or not at one point it would ever even see the light of day.
Yeah.
So yeah, Paul, we can head towards wrap up. You were mentioning that there's some other stuff that come out that we don't have kind of listed here yet, but bits and pieces of Star Wars are moving along and stuff.
Yeah, so Star Wars Vision 2, which was the Visions, was the animated kind of cross section of different stories from the Star Wars universe. They're coming out with a season 2, which I think is great. Just a bunch of different artists and stuff getting to kind of stress their creativeness. Stormtroopers, which is a Star Wars show, I think a Star Wars show on Stormtroopers, which will be an interesting kind of twist to follow essentially the bad guys.
Is it going to be called like Stormtroopers Firing Range or something like that?
Yeah, the first episode is them just trying to hit. It's like Police Academy, but through Stormtroopers.
Yeah.
That would be great. I definitely think we should pitch that.
That would be awesome. It's like firing range, and then the class where you're walking through doors without catching your head. All the good stuff. And you'd have to make a joke about one short stormtrooper as well.
Yeah.
It's
like, sorry, sir, you don't meet the height requirements. And then constantly being tricked by people waving their hands, and it's been like, these aren't the drugs you're looking for. Which is it looks and then obviously Mandalorian, which we'll talk about more in the coming weeks. The first episode came out today. Patrick has seen it. I have not. Which is from the looks and smiles that I got when I said that it came out, he was very coy about his.
I do not want to set expectations, Paul. It's quite good.
But so that came out. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing kind of they're expanding the universe and stuff like that with Mandalorian and Stormtroopers, and then obviously just having a little bit of fun with Vision, which will be really good. So Star Wars is pretty much everywhere.
Star Wars everywhere. And Brew has given us a final thing to talk about, which is, anyone watched The Last of Us? No, have not yet. It is on my to-do list. Unfortunately, I don't have access to it yet, so I'm going to have to resolve that and then watch it.
I have played the games, so the first episode, I will tell you now, it felt like I was replaying the game, which was not a good feeling.
But a good feeling, but not a good, as in it's unsettling, but in the, they're doing a good job sort of way, or...
It was a bit weird because I was just like, I've played all this.
Oh right,
I've been this person. So why am I now essentially just sitting here not being able to? But I have heard that the next episode and a couple that they do start straying away from the. I think they were using the first episode as kind of nostalgia. For gamers and stuff like that, and also bringing people into the
gotcha.
Because the game obviously gently brings you in, and then kind of go off a little bit on their own kind of way, which is great. I do hope that they do that, because I'm really enjoying shows that are taking up properties and then going their own direction with them. Because The Boys has done that a lot, which I cannot say how much I've been enjoying that. And then I'm hoping The Last of Us does the same thing. I'm really enjoying people taking source material and doing their own thing with it.
Well, I have vomited so many times into this microphone my big screed about it doesn't have to match the book, it doesn't have to match your expectations, a sequel doesn't have to have anything to do with the first, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I'm with you. Just take it, make your art, and if it's good, we'll hug it and squeeze it. Also, Pedro Pascal.
renaissance with him.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of want to be like a mate of his now. I kind of want to do that thing where I'm like just showing up where he is, striking up conversation, so that then it's like, oh, you want to go play tennis? Because I think I have a bit of a man crush on Pedro Pascal because I watched the Nicolas Cage, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah.
Ah, God, and I've watched so many YouTube videos of Pedro Pascal being interviewed while either jet lagged, stoned, giddy, high on sugar, whatever. Like all the ranges that he gives in interviews, he would be my number one guest now on the show to interview. Not because he is the number one person that I want to talk to. You just know you're getting something good when he shows up.
Yeah. No, he's going through a renaissance right now, and I was talking about this to a bunch of friends. He's gone differently to a lot of like Chris Pine and Chris Pratt and which is a couple of others who have like gone through a renaissance of being like the action star and stuff. Right. He's differentiated himself by going from TV to movie to movie to TV. He's definitely just choosing projects that he's really, really interested in, rather than just choosing them or just being a part of them just to kind of get his name out there, which I really, really enjoy, because it just his name still means quality, which is like difference to like Chris Pratt and Chris Pine and a couple of other people who are like the flavor of the month kind of stars for a while. Nothing to say that they're bad or anything like that. Nope. It's just that
I think
they're putting their names towards.
I definitely get that. And look, he's given so much he's hitting it on all fronts, because he's given us good movie, good TV, and he really is giving us good YouTube. When you're not watching us, you should be Googling Pedro Pascal and watch whatever the latest GQ or Wired or whatever Hot Ones. I actually don't know if he's done a Hot Ones, but whoever's interviewing him, he's giving them the best day they've ever had when it comes to those sorts of Vanity Fair style interviews. Person in a chair with a white background. It must be the easiest day of work they've ever had to do, because he just seems to bring it every time. And on that note, Paul, we've got to probably get out of here in a second, but we've got a few minutes if there's any more topics that anybody wants to throw in. We care not about our runtime. We care not about our analytics anymore. We don't even care if you like, share, or subscribe, because anybody who does like this will naturally like it. And if you do enjoy what you see, then consider subscribing. But very much, if you want to see if somebody else likes it, sharing is the best thing you can do for us, because it ain't about the numbers, folks. It's about hoping that out there, somewhere out there, we've made you smile or think, or both smile and think about an ejector seat smashing somebody who's talking in a theater right up against the roof, in a very comedy squelch kind of way. Brian wants more swears. Well, I was just going to go straight for the C word there, but I thought, no, our American listeners won't be okay with that. That's a bridge too far.
Yeah, I have a bleep button.
If you can time it right, I can call Brian never mind.
No, I cannot. Because the bad thing about being in the darkest timeline is we're not in the same room, so it's very hard to get the lag over.
This is true.
I will say my only added thing is that Toxic Avenger, the 1984 movie, is getting a remake by Elijah Wood's company. They're redoing it, which I'm really excited for, because Toxic Avenger was one of the first weird action films that I watched that literally was just like, I want to see more of these kind of weird action films. It's what got me into kind of weird. It's because I will say that the title or the like poster thing is like a weird melty guy holding an American flag while having a lady over his shoulder. Not like very much of the time, but very much of one of those films in like Chartbusters where you're just like, I must watch. So I'm really excited to see Toxic Avengers remake. So
there you go, and
it'll be fun.
Let us know down below if the show idea that just came into my head should be done. Paul, I'm not even telling you before I ask other people if we should do it. I think we should do a very quick episode at some stage about our favorite VHS or DVD covers.
Oh, that'll be good.
Because I've never watched Phantasm. I've never watched it, but I could draw that cover, because when I was a kid in the video shop, it's the ball and the drill and stuff. When I was a kid in the video shop, I kept looking at it going, someday I'll be in here and I'll be able to get that, and no one will know that I rented that one. It was never on the list that I was going to be able to rent as a kid. But yeah, there's some classics.
Skinwalkers, that was a good one. I won't run the premise, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that'll be a great idea. I'd love to do that. Yeah.
Nice. Well, everybody out there, it's great to be back. I was gonna try and say something profound there, but it was great to be back. I love you all. If you're not already doing it, check out our viewers elsewhere. Go check out It Takes Two. Go check out Pop Culture. Doing a live next week, I believe. Good luck. It's not in a time zone that I can stay up for, unfortunately. Go see Paul do things with more intelligent people. Homebrew Quest. Well, I'm assuming at least one of them is more intelligent than me, Paul. I know what you say about them when they're not around. Especially you, Ben. You should hear what he says. It's like
Bag of bricks, all of them.
Hey. So that would be Heroes Out Quest. And yeah, just essentially love your neighbor, love yourself, be good to everybody. Get to the cinema and get in touch with us. Tweet at us, especially comment on our videos. Let us know what random mad stuff you'd like us to talk about, because we're random, mad, and we talk.
We do all those things. So
yeah. Have mouth, word travel.
And also, it's been great to do more shows with this lad. Which has just been real fun to do, and I can't wait to do more, especially in 2023. So that's going to be really cool.
I'm going to remind you of that in a minute when we have to go. What was on the plan for next week? Because we're so out of sync. We got to come up with something for next week, folks. Which is when we will see you. And until then, Paul, do you want to start our walkout?
I've been Paul,
and I've been Patrick,
and we've been Heroes Out.
And we will see you next time, everybody.
Next bat time.
Next bat channel.
I don't know why I said it in such a weird way.
Batman Frankenstein. All right, everybody. Batman Frankenstein. Bye.
Bye.